This is my driveway, and this little escape artist is Bonnie. And although she looks innocent, she loves to find a way out. And since we live on a big, dangerous road, that is a big no-no. So today we are taking things to the next level by building the most advanced gate system you have ever seen. We're talking laser beams, a tracking system, CCTV, and an AMPR setup that will automatically open the gates when I'm pulling in with my van. Now this has got a party trick you will not believe. Now before I even think about installing the most advanced gate system on this planet, there is something in the way. So let's fix that. That is all the rubbish disappeared. Massive shout out to Cheadle Grab Hire. Now what we need to do is figure out the distance between one point, the second point and the third point. So I think there's going to be 3 posts that we install. Now what I'm going to go for is essentially a massive driveway gate which spans here, a pedestrian gate which is here, but I've also just realised that this is in the way. So I might need to get rid of that to put the first post in. So let's get cracking. Now, unfortunately, the digger didn't pull the pier over, so it looks like I have to do it manually. Oh, here we go. One quick question is wood lice. You might be able to answer this in comments, but why is there loads of wood lice in brick? But doesn't make sense. Anyway, we've got to get this last little bit out now. So let's talk about what gates I'm looking to install. Well, I broke it down into 4 simple steps: price, warranty, weight, and maintenance. Simple reason being price, I don't want to pay that much. Warranty, I want to try and squeeze the best warranty as humanly possible. Weight, because I'm going to turn the gates into automatic gates, so the more weight means more pressure on the motor. And maintenance, I don't have time to maintain these gates. So when we put all that formula on the board, we chose wood, metal, and composite. Composite was by far the clear leader. The gates that we found were at Charles and Ivy. They were £2,300. You get a 20-year warranty with it, and they're about 150 kilos. The maintenance is next to nothing, just washing it down. But when you compared it with the other 2 materials, it was an absolute landslide. Now, when I first set out of this process, I actually wanted wooden gates, but then when you actually looked at the kind of issues that I would have with them, composite was the clear leader. First things first is we need to figure out where our first post is going, which is here. So we're going to mark it out. So we want ours to be as flush with this one as humanly possible. But there's a route in the way. Wish me luck. I don't think we'll be nowhere near, because this is 600 yet. I think I found something. And it won't come out. Ugh. Oh. Not got a clue what that is. So the posts are 2.5 and we want as much in the ground as humanly possible, which is there, around about 100 mil away from where we need it to be. So we've got a little bit more digging to do. So now we've got one hole prepared. I really want to try and start focusing now on where the other one's going to go. I'm now going to show you how big the gates are going to be. So the 4.6. So as you can see, they're quite big gates. So for the price, I think that's extremely cheap, because the wooden ones were 3,800, the metal ones were 4,000, and these ones worked out around about 2,800 quid. So I thought that was an absolute bargain, which means off this post, we're going to have our pedestrian gate so you can walk in, and then we'll cap it off from there to there with the fence paneling. Now we just need to measure our actual panels, which work out around about 175. But I will check that. I'm probably going to get Dartina, which is over here, to unpack everything. She loves stuff like that.
What do you think, Bonnie? Do you like it?
Oh, that's lovely, that. So do you know why I went for that?
Why?
Scott's got it on his. I think it looks lovely.
I really like it.
I don't like it.
I love it.
I love it.
What do you think, Bon? You ain't getting through that, are you, kidder?
She's eyeing it up, isn't she? Thinking,
Yeah, have a look.
How can I get through these little gaps?
How's this?
So it's now time to get the posts installed. Before we set our posts in, we're going to look down our posts because we're going to be putting an intercom system on it. We're also going to put lasers on the inside of it. We're also going to put up and down lights. So we want to make sure that this is the face. So then when we're screwing everything on, we've got enough room to be able to put all our cables in. Now, you want to measure it, or level it, should I say, both sides. And then once it's level, I'm just looking around the base and just making sure that I've got enough room around the whole post. So it's now time to mix our concrete. There we have it. Now our first post is setting in nice and solid. We need to do a little bit of work, and that work is figuring out where our second post is going. Now that is pretty important because we ordered gates that were 2.3 long. So we need to check everything, and we need to add our tolerances, which is 1 centimetre each width. So we're going to figure that out now, and then we can work out where our post is going. So we are currently at 231 times 2 is 462. Then we need to add on 3 centimetres, so that is 465. So now what we need to do is we need to get our lovely assistant again. Would you mind holding that over there for me, love? And our measurement from the inside of the post, so if you just hold it up against that post in there, down at the bottom. So we've got 465, which is there. So now we have got our mark for our second post. So we're going to dig a hole. X marks the spots. Now what we also need to do is just make sure we're straight as well. So what I am going to do is probably put my big square out. In fact, I'm going to use a string line from that post to that post, and then just make sure I've got a straight fence. Gate. Keep saying fence. There is going to be a fence somewhere on here as well. I'm so glad that I have just checked, because my initial hole was here and they've checked it square from the centre of the pier there to now is here, which is about 1 foot out. So I would have had a wonky gate. Third time's the charm. We'll start digging and we'll make sure that this is where we dig. Time to see if my hole works. So now what I'm doing is I'm just checking for my hole. Now it isn't quite wide enough. If you have a little look now, you'll see a pinch around it. My agger bit was slightly too small. Don't matter, we can just trim the edges. Like I say, we want a minimum of a couple of inches around the post, and we're gone into solid ground as well. The next obstacle we face is making sure that it's level with that post, because we want the gate to be pucker, and I've not got a laser level, so I'm going to improvise. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Improvisation at its best. So my game plan is to run the string line up there like so, and then I'm going to hold this up here, match it up to the string line, and it'll tell me that's not far off that. Probably needs to go down a tiny bit. Yeah, probably about 1 centimetre, which will get that when I clear the hole out. Job's a good one. I need the string line.
Let's just leave him looking. What are you looking for, Mark?
String line. Oh, that's lovely, that. Yeah. That's what we like to say in the trade. That's right on the money.
Right, now you need to measure it again.
Right.
Because I might have moved.
Right, I need the string line next. That is both posts set solid, and it's now time to hang a gate. And to hang it is probably the simplest kind of hanging system I've ever come across. So bolt goes through there, and then you got your little nug on the end, which your gate sits in. And then this, it says on the, I will link the Charles and Ivy instruction AI thing right now on the screen, and it says to do it from the bottom up, which does make sense in normal cases, but ours isn't a normal case. So the reason we want to go from the top down is we want to make sure we've got the ground clearance. So we're going to go to the top up of these posts, and then we're going to bring the level of the driveway up, because we've got a lot of work to do on this driveway. To put these in now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp the brackets on, put one screw in, which will then hold the bracket, and then we can install the rest of them. So let's get cracking. That is one done. Now I just need to measure and make sure the gap we've got is perfect, because we only give ourselves 3 centimetres. Right, let's measure that from there to there now. It's 230. I give myself loads of tolerance, so unless there's more in the brackets. Let's have a little, oh, we can measure that. 232, really, away. That's 230 bang on the money, and it's 231, and it needs to be a centimetre for the middle and 2 centimetres there. So it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's got to be moved across 4 centimetres. 3, there we go.
Oh. Oh, look how beautiful that is.
It's the next day, and I've always promised to be honest, so I'm gonna let you know a few of my mistakes. One of them was hanging the gates on the post yesterday. I was naive enough to think if I mixed it differently, it would go off harder. That was not the case. Post mix does say it goes off in 15 minutes. However, we're hanging a relatively kind of substantial gate on there. So if you're gonna be doing this yourself, 100% set your posts in the day before, let them go off, because like this one over here, it's absolutely solid. Whereas this one, I think what it might have been as well, the wind blew the door yesterday and it's kind of moved it. So what I've done is I've exposed it all, as you can see, and we're going to refill it this morning with concrete. We're going to sit it on brick so it fully goes off. Then we're getting someone coming down later, a guy called Aaron, that's going to help us sit us in the automatic gate boxes. Once they're in, we can coat the full bottom of the post in concrete. There's also another mistake I've made. When I'd put the brackets on, I'd not allowed for the covers. So when you put the covers on, it sits slightly higher than the post. Now, obviously we don't want that on nice new front gates. So what we are going to do this time is make sure the bracket fits just at the top. So I'm making this mistake so you don't have to. Right, let me mess around with this, get this fixed, and then we'll move on to the next stage, which is hanging this beautiful gate. Wish me luck. The big test is now to nip that top one up and see if we're if it works, if we've got a working swinging gate. So wish me luck. It's now time to test and see. We have a gate! We did a thing, guys, and it's worked. Now what we've got to do, just open it again, just to make sure that it's working. Looks level. Now let's have a little test, see if it's level that way. That is right, on the money. Now I know how to adjust them, if it moves over time or anything, I know how to do it. It's really simple. So what I did then, I got Charlie to lift it up, I tightened it, and then put the level on it and just nipped it off until it went level and then tightened it. So it's much easier to do it like that. But yeah, we've got a gate. So what we need to do in a little while is start to dig the motors in, because the motors will also support the gate because there's like a bracket that sits on there. But yeah, we've got a gate, look at that. Now, how I put the brackets on is, because most of the time it's just me, so I hold it on kind of to where it wants to be. I then use my grips to kind of hold it in place once I know where it's going to be, and then nip it up, and then I can get a screw in. So I'm going to screw it in. So these are self-tappers. I'll put these either in the link to where they were from Screwfix, drill them in like so, and they go in dead easy. So I always give it a few little goes of the gun just to mark it, and then stand them in then. There we go. You don't want to nip it up all the way because you've probably seen then it pulls it out. So now what I do, unnip that, and now put the second one in. Level, just to make sure my brackets are going in level. Slightly out a bit, there we go. There we go. Now it's time for the bottom one. Right, with my bottom hinge, I'm putting 6 screws in and not 4, because this is what's carrying most of the weight. I know it's only a gate, but I've done it with all of them. You just don't want it moving. So now I'm happy with my bottom bracket. I've leveled it, I've clamped it. Now it's time to screw it in. Now our bracket's in, I'm just going to check the level one more time. Absolutely beautiful. We then get our nugs and our bolt. We screw it in. We want it kind of about there. Nip it up tightish. There you go, just so it don't move. And then with the top one now, we're going to put that in the gate. We're going to keep that bolt up there. We're going to lift the gate in. We're going to bolt it in, and that is the gate installed. Hang on, let go. Oh, have you seen that? Oh, lovely. Now it's time for the Pierre resistance, the caps. Oh, look at that. Now, what I'm actually very glad for as well, this is going to be easy to dig. Now it's time for the post to lock the gate. number 4 is set. Now it's time for the bit you've all been waiting for. We are going to make these gates the most advanced gates you've ever seen in the world, probably. So to do it, I've roped in some help. Now this person you have seen on the video a couple of videos ago, and he specialises in technology. So let's bring him in. Az, how you doing, buddy?
Hi, mate.
Appreciate you coming down. We're cuddlers now. We're cuddlers now. When you reached out to me about the cinema and I said I was doing the gates, she was like, oh, we do that. In regards to like CCTV, is technology kind of your bag?
Yeah, that's
like
it.
systems.
Anything technology, anything with a cable, anything technology in a house, gates, yeah.
What we're doing to my gates is not kind of the norm, is it? Like, so you wouldn't kind of normally see it. Not the full
really.
package.
No, so we're going to have an intercom with two-way audio and video, so even the caller can see you.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have camera that picks up your number plates as you come down the road, open the gates for you before you even get there, so the gates are open.
And can you program, so say if my friend's coming down, can I put the reg in so then it picks up his reg?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And how quick is it? Like, what's a processing time like?
So the camera picks up every number plate that comes past,
No way.
analyses it against the table, checks whether we've got it on an allow list or a block list.
That's going to be sick.
Set it to take pictures of block vehicles and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. So one thing that I really wanted, I've always wanted automatic gates. So we've got some motors which we're going to install now. So let's give them a go.
Gates here, these beautiful gates, and I'm going to now show you how to install our smart handle. So step 1 is we're going to attach the lock body to the profile. So these already come milled out, ready for you to just slot them in. The next step is going to put 2 screws there and there just to secure it in place. So with there being a little bit of play in here, I'm just going to mark where the lock body sits centrally, mark the 2 holes where I'm going to drill the screws into, and then we're going to go from there. So that I know that I have this lock body centrally, I'm just going to place the front end of the smart handle into place, making sure that all the screws line up and that it's flush. This will then position this correctly, and then I can just mark these 2 holes here and here. So with our smart handles, all of the fixings required come in the box, and it means you can get started right away. So that everything stays watertight and secure, we provide this nice little rubber gasket that just sits right on the back of this handle, just like so. The next step is to attach all of these fixings that allow the handle to grab hold of something on the other side. So this one's just a little push pin, drop, and then it'll drop into that lock. The next things is we have 2 screws. They'll just screw onto there like so, and then once we've done this, we're ready to place the handle straight on there. So when placing the handle into the locking mechanism, it's really important, there's a little arrow on the inside. This must face the inside of the handle, and then once that's done, feed your wire through these pre-milled holes through to the back side where the batteries are going to be held. Place that through there and then pull on, and then now that's into position, ready to attach the back side. So in the case like this gate that we're fitting here, if you were to put the handle on this side, it would be facing the wrong way. So with these handles here, there's a little Allen key hole and a provided Allen key, and if you unscrew this, it'll allow you to swap the handle over. So now that we've swapped the handle over and the front side of the handle's on, we're going to now move on to the back side. So the first thing that we do is we're just going to attach these 2 electrical connectors that just click together. We'll then push all of the excess wiring up into the aluminium frame, and then we're now just going to match up this lot, and then when we move these 2 plastic covers where you place your batteries in just down here, it will reveal the 2 screw holes that will attach it all together. The last thing we need to do is just put 4 AAA batteries into the back, reattach the cover. So now that the batteries are in, we'll have a working handle. The other smart thing about this smart handle is that not only can you open it with your thumbprint, it also comes with 2 keys and 2 key fobs.
We have some ducting or trunking or plastic that you can put wires through. I don't know, I think it's called ducting. But anyway, what we are doing is Aaron has set these exactly where he wants them to be. So I'm gonna mix up some postcrete, I'm gonna wrap everything around it in concrete, but he needs to get access. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick this trunk in, which fits weirdly enough, perfect in there, like so, just a couple of nodules. And I'm then gonna wrap concrete around this, so then it sits in solid, so then we can fit the motors in. So what we've now just done is inserted this beautiful cover. Now what I do need to do though is put the clamps on it, leave it 24 hours for the CT1 to set, and then we can start using the gate. Right now, we have the gate finished. We have the gates finished. We have got a thumbprint hand door opener, what's it called, a lock. But what we do need to do is just finish off the edging down here, and then we can get on to the technical stuff. I'll see you in 3, 2. Welcome back to a new day. Today is pretty important. We need to make sure that our bases and our containers for our motors are set in concrete. So what I have done is I've put some post mix on the floor or concrete on the floor just to kind of hold the gates in, because what was happening is I have got nearly 1 meter of post in the ground, but for some reason it's still moving about 1 centimeter, which gives that a dip. Right now, everything is perfect. Our line's perfect, our height's perfect. So what I'm hoping to do, when I fill it all with concrete, I remove this and it sets absolutely solid. You know, get out. You could probably get under there, couldn't you? Get your eyes out of it. Concrete is concreted. Now, if I'm going to make my gates fully automated, it means that I need cables. So what I've done here, we've sat the box in, ready for Aaron to kind of install the motors. We put some ducting out of here so we can put the cables in. But what we do need is ducting running from the gates to the house. Now the main problem is when you are running cables from point A to point B, the last thing that you want to do is have a cable on top of the surface, you put your spade through it, and then there's no more power to the front of your gate or your CCTV. So to compensate that, we're going to dig this stuff in the ground round about over 1 foot down. Then what we will do is we will eliminate the problem of having cables on the surface. They're nice and safe in the ground, and we can run numerous cables through this ducting, which will be perfect. So it is time to put some fuel in the digger and get digging. Oh, hang on, before we dig, we need to swap the bucket. Look at that bucket. Grading bucket, we need a digging bucket. Next up is our ducting. Now what I'm going to do with this is sit it out of the ground about 1 foot. So I'm going to tip it, cover some up so it'll hold it in, and then I can carry on working. I don't think this is long enough to reach the side of the house. I'll be buzzing if it does, but I have got a little attachment attached on that end if it doesn't. Not very deep there, so what I might have to do is scrape a bit out with my hands. Perfectly, that one piece literally went around the whole kind of stretch that we needed. So now what I'm doing, I'm just cutting this at the same length as the one that's already in, and then what we'll do is we will stick a black box on the outside here, which will feed both of these from the front of the house to the back of the house, like so. There'll be a black box here and they'll feed into both of them. I don't know whether we'll get that done in this video or it'll be done in the next video, because you want to be able to get access to all your kind of pipes and stuff that you've had. Perfect. Right, let's knock it all back in. Let's cover it all up. That is all our trunking is now buried. So technically, if you go to the other side of this pipe and I shout down it, you might be able to hear it. Subscribe, you cheeky buggers. So there we have it, one complete installed ducting. Now it's time to install some motors. New day, which means one thing, Aaron and Sam are here, and we're going to turn these gates into bionic superstars. Now, if we are going to turn these gates automatic, there is one very important problem. If you come down here, you'll notice that the bracket doesn't actually touch the gates and it's a little bit far away. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a little template on some cardboard, and you're going to understand why in a minute. Now we've got our template, we need to go and magically get this cut into steel. I have come down to Alma Street Metal, which apparently Jack just said, what do you mean, Jack? Soul. We've come down to Alma Street Metal to make some brackets, and we brought our little templates with us. Let's go. So Tom is now going to turn my piece of cardboard into that lovely design. Well, once he's measured my holes, so fingers crossed. Well, we can't have got it wrong because we templated it. One of the main problems that we've got is my little template here, because the holes are really tight to the end. When we bend the steel, you're not going to get the holes in. So what Tom's doing is kind of making it wider at the bottom so it pinches up. Pretty clever, really, because I would have gone home and gone, no, it's fine, mate, yeah, that'll work. And then when we try it, it won't work. There we have it, the plans. Now we needed to give them to Jack so we can make it. It's even in colour. It's even in colour. This machine's mint. I don't even know how you say that word of that company name, but if you're watching this, if you want to give us one of these machines. So this is essentially a laser machine, and as you can see from the bit that is cut a little bit earlier, the laser will run round and cut our design out. We've just gone to ×2 because we forgot that there's 2 brackets. I know, I'm silly like that, but there's 2 brackets, so they'll cut it out on this machine first, and then Jack, who you've probably just seen, he will then fold it into our perfect design. Very quick. They should turn this into some sort of business. So the machine has just kind of cut everything out now. We're going to go through to the second section where Jack is going to bend it into the bracket that we want. So what Jackie Boy's going to do now is turn this into the bracket with this machine. It's going to use the Morgan Rushworth machine. I reckon I can do it by hand. We might not need machine, Jack. Fuck no, we need machine. Jesus Christ. That's not moving anywhere. Oh, look at that, Jackie. That is mint. I don't think you can get any more bespoke, can you?
They're the only 2 on the earth right now.
They're the only 2 on the... Oh, we should get everyone to sign it. On the inside. Amazing. They're gone so good.
That'll be 15 grand, that, I think, for the bespoke.
Oh, perfect.
38 mil.
Spot.
They said he was good. They said he was
good. You didn't know he was that good. Brackets are made. We need some bolts to basically bolt through. We thought it'd be stronger to bolt through the gate. So to do that, we are now just coming to Screwfix to pick up some stainless steel bolts if you do it. I need some, I think, M8 bolts. I'm gonna go M8. If we can get stainless steel, that would be sick. Yeah, buddy. Should we go M10? Oh, mint, Johnny boy, that works. Have you got some nuts for him?
Yeah.
That's the perfect size. One of them, mate, that'll do. Target acquired. So we've got our nuts, we've got our bolts. Now it's time to get back and get it fitted. Oh, look at that for a
yeah.
bracket.
Nice. That'll do the trick.
Very bespoke.
Yeah, nice.
Now the question is, will they fit? I don't know, but at least they'll look good.
We'll make them fit.
The boys have done an incredible job. Guess
Yeah.
how much they would be? Stainless steel,
Stainless, isn't it?
self-made,
A lot.
150. 75 a bracket, which I don't think it's bad.
No, it's good, eh?
I'm a little bit scared. Oh my God. Oh my God, like a glove. Look at that. Do a spray in black, do you reckon, boys? Or do we leave it? It don't really matter, does it, I suppose?
If you are going to spray it black, you ought to do it after.
So I've got a screw to go through.
Yeah. So this side's got the foot mounted on already that connects the motor to the gate side.
Yeah.
So these screws stop there, but we can extend these. We can use longer screws that will go all the way through into these as well. So we'll make them fit in there. And then these four, we'll just use 4 bolts straight down into there.
Yeah, so they'll bolt through and then we're good to go, aren't we? How's it going?
It's going really good. Motors are in, cables are into the motors. We're just going to start connecting that one up now. We've got cables into here. First laser beams on that side.
Laser beams.
Yeah,
Wow.
in fact, laser beams on this side as well. So that creates a laser from there to there.
Yeah.
And if that laser's broken, the gates won't close. Got
Sorted.
cables in for the cameras up there.
Yeah.
This one's about to go in now.
Oh, I was going to say the lights.
Intercom,
Lights.
lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Forgot
I've
about
drilled the big holes, so we should be able to get
Yeah,
plenty
yeah.
up there.
Yeah, so I need to get the, I need to find the lights, don't I?
Yeah.
So apparently the lights fit in dead easy. It'd be nice just to screw them in. Let me find them.
Yeah. We'll crack on with this cable first. These are the laser posts. These are going to go either side of the gate down here. Same as those, but at the back end there's rain. And because all the electrical connections are open, I can't really do it in the rain, so it's got to stop and go away.
This box is going to be where all the cables run into. This is going to be like our hub. So what Aaron's done is he's stuck it on some legs. So what I need to do now is dig some holes, set it in, so then Aaron can feed all these lovely cables in. It's now time to see if the ducting that we installed yesterday actually ducts. And to do what we're doing, my good friend over here, has got a piece of string or wire with a bung on the end of it. And then down yonder, Sam is going to suck it through. Now we've done our sucky thing with the Hoover, we're going to install these 3 cables. What are these 3 cables?
Okay, so we've got a network here. This is going to bring network up to the gate, going to be for access to the cameras and intercom.
Yeah.
Got power, which will be power for the gate.
Yeah.
And then we've got a lighting feed for switching some lights.
This is where the big guns come out. Are we ready?
Yeah, ready?
It's nice and light. So just for context for the people at home, this is equivalent of pulling about 500 kilogram in weight. Eddie Hall had struggled with this one. It's pretty exciting, isn't it, really, when you think about it? We're running cables under the ground. It's very exciting, though. If anyone's watching this now that are into just like doing your house up, it's nice when you have that sense of achievement. And right now it doesn't look great, but this is where Josh will come back and tidy it all up. Yeah!
Yeah.
We have got literal cables running beneath our feet. Bloody clever, isn't it? Now, one thing that we was discussing before off camera is you can put like a 5-core through and run both power off for the gates and the lights, but Josh wanted a separate system. Do you know why you would want a separate system?
Just to separate it in case you end up with low voltage or a different breaker size or anything like that.
Yeah, keeps it separate. But now it's ready for the fun stuff, getting it all wired in. final day. All I need to do right now is install, or should I say tighten up these bespoke brackets that we've made from Alma. We're gonna pilot hole them, we're gonna bang some coach bolts in them, stainless steel. While I'm doing that, Aaron is, in fact, I'm gonna pass you over to Aaron right now.
Okay, so to get this gate working, I'm going to wire up the control panel now, and then we'll program it and get it moving. Right, that's wired. Just got to finish programming it up now and get it all working. We're going to do the auto set on the gates. This lets the panel measure the weight of the gates and determines how quick they can move, and then we should have working gates.
I have a little bit of homework, which is these laser receivers. Now, what I do need to do, I need to sit some little bits of concrete either side with some pins sticking out for them to sit in. But as of right now, we're going to get the gates hopefully working and see if we can actually have automatic gates. How sick would that be? You join me with a fob. This is going to be the first test of the gates to see if they're working. Is Aaron nervous? He's not nervous. I'm a little bit nervous. We've still got a bit of work to do, but this is the first moment. Which one? There's two little buttons on here. One with a 1 dot, one with a 2 dot. We want one with a 1 dot. That is sick. Look how fast they are. Why are they so fast? My mates aren't that fast. That is so sick. Right, time to get all the final little bits done, get the CCTV, get the up and down lights on, and then we can do the big reveal.
It's time to power them up, see if they work. Right, that's that. And let there be light. Just got to put the cameras up now and then we'll be done. These open posts have made really easy work of fitting all the electronics on here. When you've got oak posts or solid posts, you've got to get your terminations just all right. But for these, they've got a nice hollow gap down here that's going to stay fully watertight. Gives us plenty of room to do all the connections and hide all the wires.
We now have one of the most advanced gate systems on this planet, and I could not have done it without this man. Az, thank you so much, mate. The question is, oh, we're huggling now, we're past that. Couple of questions for you, mate, before we do this massive reveal and show everyone the work that we've done. Now, you've obviously helped me with gates, you do cinema stuff. Where do your boundaries end in regards to kind of what you do as a company?
We would take on anything that's to do with technology, cabling, electrical automation, anything that's exciting enough, really.
That's it. So I will put Aaron's details in the description below. Now, there is one more thing that we want to do on these gates. We want to try and install, I say try, he knows how to do it. I'm going to attempt to try it with him. We're going to try and install the most advanced intercom system there is, and it's called 2N, or the company's called 2N, where someone can buzz on my gate and it will FaceTime me and they can see me on the screen. Be sick. The other thing that we really want to try and do is add facial recognition. So if we program a face, if someone's walking with the dog or someone's coming who's not got access to a car, it will scan the face and it will open the gates automatically. How sick will that be? So there's going to be some more tricky bits in another video. Let me know if you want me to create a second channel and do a more in-depth version of the install of the intercom system, or we'll just do it as a main channel video. Az, thank you. Appreciate all your help. Time for the reveal. There we have it, some fully automated gates. Now, this little madam can't escape. Well, I've got a little bit of work to do over there, but other than that, you can't get out, can you, baby? Now, the gates themselves, including the pedestrian gate, including the lock, were less than £2,500, which I think is an absolute steal. I do have a discount code as well, which is MarkMarshall_LSH. I don't know how long it's going to work for, so fill your boots. The big thing is going to be the CCTV with facial recognition, with AMPR to scan my reg, which is going to be in the next video. A massive, massive, massive thank you to Az. Again, his details will be in the description below. I've got bloody automatic gates. I'll see you in a bit. Come on, Bon.
YouTube is telling you to watch this video.
Go watch it now. We're going to get no pocket money.
Go watch it now or else you won't get any pocket money.